don't need bigger knife. Yeah.
Greetings, everybody. This is Nigel the Smith here. We're back around not at the table again this week, doing the live majigger thingy here just to try and entertain you all and get some interaction and answer some questions. And as I say that, first one here pops up from Scott Simmons, just asking what's up, gents. So we'll answer that as we go around. Not too much with myself. Next up.
What are you carrying? Come on.
Oh, yeah. Doing
We're in
that thing.
one train. Let's just do this. Come on.
Yeah. I'm all out of practice. Playing around with the Benchmade Shot Show Fact with the very, very handsome silver twill.
That's what I'm kicking myself for not having.
Yeah,
I wish.
I'm not jealous. Not really.
Understandable.
Not really? You're wrong.
I may be wrong.
I'm up next. I'm doing well. May long weekends. I think it's Labor Day down in the States, but yeah. Got the garden planted all on time, ready to go. I was using my Griptilian with the AWT scales. It's a D2 Griptilian. So cut a whole bunch of bags of soil, trim some stuff, ready to go.
Nice.
Very cool.
A workhorse of a workhorse.
Yeah, it wasn't tough enough with D2. I figured it needed beefier scales than the plastic that is throwable, as we found out, right? So
Yeah.
What is that? Grivery, Grivex? Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's impressive that a grip can survive that.
Is that a grip
Anyway.
in your hand?
Maybe. Yeah, I've got the 20 CV grip, which, I mean, if you're going to get a grip, I feel like that might be the one to get for blade steel alone.
Throwing some minor shade over Dennis's way, but that's all good.
No, not at all. D2 is a fantastic steel in that knife.
if you'd like to see the collection of grips, I also have
You win.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Just
and
a
a
little bit.
154 and
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Joe, what are you carrying, brother?
Showed off a little bit earlier. The very weird little double cross from Kershaw / Shun. It says Kershaw on the blade, but we all know this is Shun steel. Yeah. Just been lazing around the house, not doing a ton of work, so this is a pretty nice lazy Sunday knife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disappears in the pocket.
Oh yeah. Horrifyingly so. Always afraid I'd lose the thing. It's so lightweight and small.
Like I said, I know some people. A gentleman has one with a loose detent, and he did reach in his pocket and slice himself something fierce. So does use a pocket slip with that particular knife from now on, because Kershaw's quality control is top notch. In Kershaw's defense, I'm pretty sure that there was some like pocket lint involved with gumming up that detent. I don't
Fair enough.
think it was purely Kershaw's fault. So
Yeah. You got to be careful with those riveted knives and those liner locks.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
So you had some questions earlier in the day here, Paul.
We have one at the moment.
All right.
And I feel like our friends south of the border are mocking us a little bit with this one. A little bit.
All right.
Sweet.
I don't know how the hell to say his name. KALQL. Calculator 808. It's calculator 808.
Light bulb.
Fantastic.
What kind of poutine do you like? A?
Mm.
Yes.
The A felt sarcastic.
Well, I've been
poutinery-
known to throw out an A every once in a while. So,
Most
The
definitely.
poutinery
stereotypes
in town does a really, really really good overloaded pork poutine with like smoked pulled pork and bacon and extra really good gravy. And yeah, I'm a fan of that one myself. That's my go-to, I think.
Fair.
We did one Sunday. And I don't remember, was that moose meat?
Yeah, that too.
That
I
Moose
feel like
meat
that
and-
for me is
Yeah, we did like shredded pork the weekend before, and then did the leftover shredded pork with moose
With the
meat
moose
as
meat,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
was
really good.
awesome poutine.
I've been to Montreal a few times now. I've had poutine there a few times from To Carry Hot Dog. Really great. But yeah, that moose meat poutine was just awesome.
Mm, yep.
That's top 3 or top 2 easy.
This is stepping back a little bit, but Zinc EDC says he just planted his garden as well.
Nice.
Nice. That's my plan for this week coming up here. The next couple days, probably.
And Super Steel Steve, that's an awesome name. All poutine is good poutine, which
Agreed.
at the end of the day is true.
Reiterate
Yep.
my initial answer. Yes.
For those of us that don't know, and for those of us that are trying to hide it, Super Seal Steve is Chef Kalari, I believe, on Instagram.
Hey, buddy.
So,
Very nice.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. When it comes to poutine, myself, it's a 2-way tie with the moose poutine for sure. The other poutine that I got to shout out is when me and Joe were in Montreal the last time. I had roast duck with portobello mushroom poutine and yeah, dude, like I got spoiled that evening.
Yeah.
Everything's better with duck fat.
Everything. I'm not going to question that any further.
Every activity out there is better with duck fat.
Dirty.
Mm-hmm. Think about it.
Already done. That's why I said it was dirty.
So we had talked last week a little bit about the Spyderco stuff, as well as touched on the Benchmade stuff, but there was definitely other stuff that we didn't dabble on.
Along with some stuff.
What's that?
Along with some stuff.
There was stuff. There was stuff in things, you know.
Just mocking how many times you said stuff there.
There might have even been things.
There was a handful of them.
Yeah.
Some of them weird. Some of them kind of I want type of idea. Yeah, we dabbled on the K390 stuff, and I think everyone's excited to try it out.
Yeah.
On an affordable platform. I will say right now, maybe I overshot the price point last week on the Canadian price point. We might be looking at a little bit lower than that. So might tempt you boys a little bit more, knowing that a Dragonfly is only going to be like, 145, 140 CAD.
I'm willing to pay that. I've paid that before.
Delica's might be 175. It might be, yeah. So
not too bad.
I'm happy to hear that I did a little more investigating, and I think we might be safe on these guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Might have to try Dragonfly at that price. I don't own a Dragonfly yet. That's something I thought I would have bought a long time ago, but yeah.
I'm just gonna collect a bunch of Dragonflies and then just only carry all of the Dragonflies at the same time.
I think I'm just going to go for a collection of the cute Spydercos, apparently, because I've got like the Grasshopper and the Toad, and I might get the K390 Dragonfly.
So we dabbled on the little native with S90 and carbon fiber. If you're looking for tiny little knives, Nigel.
That's definitely a contender for sure.
That one's kind of ugly.
But it doesn't have a cute name, so it doesn't fit the theme.
It's got to be a lockback.
So, on the Benchmade note, was there anything in particular you were excited to discuss?
Well, I mean, we talked about the Mini Freak, of course, the Mini Freak. Yeah, with S90 and carbon fiber, and
definitely.
I like the Freak platform.
Yeah.
Doug Ritter was onto something. We dabbled on that last week too, right? But yeah, the other one was the Luco, and I think I'm not as jazzed about it as the rest of the guys, but I am a little bit jazzed about it as well. So
yeah,
I want a traditional one, but that one will also do.
It's gonna be one of those things that if the handle can fit these monster hands, I'm going to fall in love with it. But if it's the exact same handle as the smaller one, as the Puko, it's.
I've seen enough videos now that it is slightly bigger
Cool.
Than that, I've seen like where the butt ends have lined up. I believe Zach stuff
Nice.
on Instagram, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. He's dabbled on that, and it's a touch bigger, but it still tapers the same way. So I do have my doubts still for
Fair
you
enough.
there, Nigel. That you're
Yeah,
gonna like
yeah.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah, so I'm on the fence.
I think it's too thick behind the edge, and heat treatment may or may not be questionable. Like,
I thought
Yeah.
they fixed the heat treatment issue though.
Yeah, they
say they fixed the heat treatment, but
I got some,
Lion Steel says their heat treatment is 60.
I've got some Rockwell files we can use if you're that curious. If you end up buying one.
I got a Puko. I wouldn't mind checking my Puko
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
to see.
if it's soft, you can still send that back. Benchmade, for those of you who don't know, is still replacing 3V blades that don't meet the new spec. So they're supposed to be sitting around 60 Rockwell.
Mhm. And it was kind of the third production batch that they started to switch over, and that happened in kind of October, November-ish.
Right.
Of
Good information.
2019, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can even check on your box if you're the proper sort of collector that keeps their boxes. It'll
So-
even have the production
The
date.
proper kind.
When you buy it secondhand dirt cheap off Kijiji, I don't know if you're able to validate that heat treatment warranty in particular. So I'm curious about that as well.
I completely
Mhm.
forgot there's a little date in there. Totally forgot about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah,
They tell
so
you
you can
specifically not to
check when the
send
production
back.
range was. Oh, sorry, what was that, Paul?
Sorry, no worries. They tell you specifically on Benchmade's customer service not to send back the original box because you won't get it back.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if you're doing warranty work and stuff.
Yeah, you'll get a box back, but it's no guarantee as to which box it will be.
Hmm.
Good information to have if you're sending stuff back, which
It is.
I wouldn't want to try and get stuff across the border right now.
No.
Fixed blade, better luck than a folder, but
You'd think that, but me and Paul's QSP neck knives have been in limbo for over a month now, and it's really started to have me worried because Canada Post says
that's
you
just
can't
plain-
get tracking because of COVID-19.
oh, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's just plain old theft. You got nothing to worry about there.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it made it across the border, and it was saying an estimated date was like a month ago, and then Canada Post just says because of COVID-19 tracking times and estimated ship dates cannot no longer be guaranteed, and
Therefore,
our
it's gonna take
knives
a
are
while.
just left in the wind. Like,
Nothing about like tracking information isn't being updated, or
it says COVID-19, no tracking or specific dates.
nothing at all.
Yeah.
Weird, because even UPS is.
That's
still-
what it
they're
says on the website. So.
Okay, I'll have to look into that later because I was looking at mailing some stuff out, but I may be reconsidering what service I use.
Yeah.
Well, this was linked to Canada Post. So after it got through the states, and it did say that it cleared customs, it had passed that regional facility, and it told me that it was at my local facility, and the estimated date was over a month ago, and that's the end of the tracking. So
Okay, you may be able to contact.
then when you go to the Canadian tracking just says COVID-19.
Yeah. So that's the end of that story there, I guess, because it's just up in limbo. You don't know. But
Yeah.
as Paul was trying to jump in there, got a couple questions.
Oops.
Sorry.
Yeah. Scott Simmons wants to know thoughts on the Spyderco Siren. So we'll start there
Yeah.
because I know one of us has some thoughts on the Spyderco Siren.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm a fan of it. I want to get it in hand and see what I think, and it might find its way into my pocket.
Very nice.
I feel about the same. On paper, looks fantastic. I'm gonna love that integral handle finger guard thing. LC200N and G10. Yeah, I'm very excited. But again, gotta feel how it feels first. But it'll probably be my next Spyderco purchase.
Most definitely. The other question is, do you think that we'll ever see the
Didn't get
paramilitary
Dennis's.
Tanto?
Oh, before we get onto that one, didn't hear Dennis's thoughts about the siren.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Man,
Or your own thoughts for that matter.
I said
Oh.
mine. I said I liked it.
Oh no,
No, Paul.
Paul's.
Sorry.
Oh, Paul's. Yeah.
My own thing with the siren, and I think you guys already personally know my thing, is it looks like it should have a flipper tab because of that finger choil. And it doesn't. It's a thumb hole, which I don't like flipper tabs. So I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing in my mind, but when you look at the design ergos of that, you would think it would neatly fold a flipper tab into where that finger choil is. Yet Spyderco decided to go with a lockback and hole opening on that instead. So it's weird.
It'd be a huge flipper tab if that were, say, a compression lock or a liner lock or something. That'd be a huge flipper tab sticking out the back.
You don't have to do it 1-to-1 scale.
That would kind of bug me if it didn't like nest perfectly on blade scale. If it didn't just get that perfect no, that would bug me.
All right, Grimsmo Brothers.
Yeah, shit, I wish. No.
And yeah, for me, I like the siren. I'm drawing a blank on the fixed bladed brother of that knife.
The waterway.
The waterway. I'm really excited for the waterway,
Mhm.
and I think that if I like one, I'll probably like the other.
Yeah, I've wanted to pick up a waterway, but they always kept getting out of stock too quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Aggressive.
I love LC200, and I'm just waiting for the right platform, and I don't think the siren's going to be it, but I so close to getting something with LC for sure.
The waterway might be.
Yeah.
Paul, we had another question apparently.
Yeah, the other question was the Paramilitary 2 Tanto. Do you think we're going to see it anytime soon?
It's Spyderco. It's got to be in the prototype phase for another 6 years before we'll... So
who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Disappointed size all around.
Speaking of knives that never needed to exist, holy, like
yeah.
You can come up with a lot of things that are a cool Tanto design, but why steal the PM2 platform and do it? Just come up with a cooler Tanto.
Because every single PM2 collector is going to then get the PM2 Tanto. So they already have a bunch of built-in sales that's going to justify making it in the future. That's why.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys in chat already talking about wanting one. Yeah, just because we don't like it.
I don't think it's the best platform for a Tanto, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. And I mean, the worst examples that come to mind are all from Mantis knives. So I mean, take what I say with a grain of salt.
I think the other thing with the Tanto as well is I thought that it was actually going to be an exclusive. I had read a couple things about.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I remember seeing a somewhat recent video of Eric Glesser talking about it and how excited he was that the grinds were coming out all clean and whatever. I don't remember him saying anything about it.
Hello, I'm Eric Glesser. I'm a Muppet. Sorry, just had to interject. Carry on.
That's fair.
There goes our Spyderco.
If you can put in Kermit the Frog memes along this somewhere along the way, it's
Eric the Frog memes.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, no, I mean, look at how long the swayback was in like prototype phase 4. It's been pictures of that thing have been kicking around for years. So I mean, I don't know. It could be a while yet before we see it. It's Spyderco.
Yeah, but they did say it was coming. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it was at least before 2021. Now COVID-19.
Yeah.
It just screwed everything up, type of thing. And so I don't know how that screwed some production at some factories, but I got to imagine that people are still kind of playing strict by the rules, right? Like it's
Yeah, I'm sure it's slowed down a whole bunch of knife productions and just productions in general.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If we're adhering to a 6 feet away distance, now thankfully a lot of that stuff is robotic and automated and whatever type of idea, right? But you might be going with a skeletonized crew, which would definitely slow some stuff down.
Yeah.
So
just a heads up, we are at the 21 minute marker here.
Okay. Halfway there.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get the Mother's Day extension like we did last week.
Okay,
Nigel's birthday. Come on, Zoom's got to know that. Type
Okay,
of-
God.
So I just had to really, really chuckle here and just notice the Zinc EDC's comment here that I apparently already look like Jim Henson, so that went over fantastically.
Yeah, there's a resemblance for sure. There is.
There we go.
And also,
We're not going to comment about what substances he was on when he created that puppet,
Don't worry about it.
either in this Zoom chat or in the 70s.
Scott Simmons is laughing about the fact that evidently Eric cut himself in the Blade HQ video.
like the Muppet he is.
He sure did.
Yeah.
I had not noticed that, but that's fantastic for
Did you-
sure.
Did you see the stuffing coming out?
It doesn't surprise me. That's for sure.
Mhm. And dead.
And that's it. Thanks for joining us now.
Hey, everybody.
So yeah, anyone else out there in YouTube land have more questions for us? Just feel free to post them up on the chat and we'll try to notice them in timely fashion.
That's it. There's a
I gotta-
delay, about a 30-second delay or something like that. So
Yeah.
I've got a question for the group. How does everyone feel about S45?
Mm,
S45.
I'm interested, but not that interested.
Yeah, it's,
Let me revise this question. What are you more excited about? Spy 27 or S45?
Spy 27. Hate to say it. S45
I
is a
think
better
S-
steel, but
I think S45 because it's more of a different steel, because I think that's kind of my weirdness about it, is it's just too many things and too similar of a sort of range.
oh, so you're more excited about Spy 27? Or more
No, I'm on the S45 over the Spy 27 because the Spy 27 is more similar to S35.
Fair enough.
I've heard Spy 27 is somewhere between VG10 and S30
Mhm.
If it
myself.
polishes up like VG10 and holds an edge more similar to S30, I'll be happy with that.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm personally interested in it.
But as far as wanting something like more different, more unique, the Spy 27, in my mind, it's just in the same ballpark as so many other steels, whereas the S45 is a little bit outside that ballpark more so.
To a degree, but S45
Yeah,
Yeah.
to a degree.
like it's S45 is also like an intermediary. It's another step in the S30, S35 series of steel development. So it's
Mhm.
not a bad steel. Looking at the composition.
Oh, no.
Actually, that's a major thing too. KnifeSteelNerds.com. For any of you watching who are into knives and you want to get geeky about this shit, check him out. Laren Thomas has been doing a ton of research. He's a metallurgist before he's a knife nerd, so he really gets into the nitty gritty details of how steels are made and how they perform and
Yeah.
why they perform. After reading his assessments, I've heard that. That's why I'm leaning more towards Spy 27. Plus, it's a
But are
Spyderco
you-
exclusive. It's kind of cool.
Are you
Yeah.
really excited about the fact that Spyderco invented 154 CM for themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yep, I like 154. So
If anybody's gonna ask,
Yeah.
that's the guy.
I'm excited
Um,
to try it out.
yeah, and I know you're all like hard on for 154 CM. So the fact Spyderco's got an exclusive
Yep.
version of it, yeah.
It's the other knife. My
Don't get me wrong. But as far as the evolution of an S series of steels throughout the last 25 years, I'm way more intrigued about where it falls into the mix
Mhm.
than
Yeah.
a Spy 27.
Yeah, me too.
I'll have to see what the price point is on both of them, and that's probably gonna. I'm gonna find a design that I like eventually that has that steel, and I'll end up playing with it at that point probably.
I don't think that give me one of those steels. I don't think I'm going to complain about not having the other. they're both interesting. It's just aside from Sandvik making 14C and 12C for Kershaw, I wasn't aware of too many other steels that were manufactured for a specific knife making company. So this is it's just kind of cool to see, like, oh wow, like, okay, so there's some exclusive steel stuff. Which
throughout the years, though, this has happened. This has happened on several occasions.
right. It's just nothing I've been like I wasn't in the hobby at the same time that this had also been happening, so it's kind of neat to see it from that perspective.
Joe showing his age
Yeah.
is what's going on here. Like, and we are also showing our age at the same time for some of us. But yeah, I mean, S30, way back in the day. And it was made, and it quickly became other companies. But Mr. Chris Reeve jumped on that before anyone else did, right? So exclusively for a steel. And then I want to say Cold Steel had something. Carbon 5 was exclusively theirs.
At least in North America.
Carbon B, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Yeah.
Because I know they worked with an OEM in Japan for that, didn't they? Or was it Taiwan at that point? For Carbon 5.
I believe Carbon 5 was actually made in the Camillus factory in America. They were American made.
Okay.
And that's what everyone bitches about, is because the Trailmasters went overseas, the whatever, Natchez, the Laredos, instead of being American made like they were back in the day. But Carbon V or Carbon 5 is still a glorified 1095 at the end of the day. So I don't know why you wouldn't take that over, say, an A2 that's made in Taiwan. Now, if Cold Steel ever decides to actually release that goddamn knife, holy shit.
Yeah, that's been waiting in the wings for a while, but
Yeah.
A little irked about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all waiting on something in A2 from them.
Yeah.
Will to Survive was wondering what our thoughts on the new bailout are.
I like it. I have been enjoying mine ever since I picked it up. It was one of those things that as soon as I pulled it out of the box, I went, oh, fuck, I'm buying a knife today. Shit, really?
It's like, well, all right.
I think universally we all liked it right out of the box.
I can't wait to detanto the shit out of that knife.
Give it something a little bit more like this.
Like the Hussar, yeah.
I don't know. I might go pot-bellied. I don't know if I'm going to go Hisatsu style or not. I'm going to take a pencil and probably draw several lines until I'm actually happy with it. But it won't be a tanto when I own it. But everything else about that knife.
Yeah, I personally really thinned out the tip there because it came as a fairly obtuse tanto.
Right.
Just for the bevels at the front there. And I've really been enjoying using it as like a craft knife almost with the front edge. Like an X-Acto knife sort of style. And it's just really useful in finding.
I think with the prying and the stabbing and all the things on YouTube that were just going crazy with the original bailouts and even the bug outs and whatever to like for abusive tests, I think they made it wedgy for a reason.
Yeah, it's understandable why they did for sure.
But I do appreciate the fact that the M4, as far as thinning it out and actually making it a usable cutting edge for like everyday task and crafting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that it's converting Nigel to a little more M4.
It's one of those things that I really like the performance of it, but I hate the maintenance of it.
Have you had to do maintenance since
nothing major, no. Not really, no, on this guy. Like, I've done some minor stropping, but nothing major on the bailout yet.
Okay. I will strop and bring M4 back. I'm pretty sure I hit some soil with my Super Freak the other day, and I'm going to have to fix it a little bit because there was some rockage in that soil.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The thing that I was going to say is the important thing is don't chip it. Don't drop it on concrete.
I was just going to say, don't drop it on concrete.
Yes. Yeah.
I was cutting roots in the ground and bounced it off a rock, and it put a little flat spot on it.
Not bad.
Right,
so the impact resistance that you need to get M4 to chip is fancy. It's
drop an edge onto concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul knows firsthand how much impact force it takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just a quick heads up. Got about 7 minutes before Zoom boots us because we're not on the Pro yet.
Mm,
Maybe we'll do that for next time. Yeah, but it'll be quite sudden when Zoom boots us. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Are we going to think we're going to continue this, boys?
I'm sure we can go for another 7 minutes till they kick us out. I mean, like, we
Well, I
might as
meant
well.
as far as like coming back afterwards.
yeah, we could.
Are we thinking that's going to be good?
Well, I think we could start up a new Zoom meeting, and I'll just keep recording. So it'll be a little janky in the middle for people watching, but we'll just start up a new meeting and keep going.
We'll test Joe's editing skills here. Nigel's had lots of practice, but yeah, if we want to keep this going, I don't mind having it going. It's Nigel's birthday, by the way. We didn't salute on that, but Nigel, happy birthday, son of a
Thank you, boys. Cheers.
So, way to not going back to work like the rest of us are. So,
I do what I can.
Do you find that the glass breaker gets in your way? Does it bug you?
No, it's a small enough little point there that unless I'm trying to find it, it's fairly tucked away that it's not too prominent in any way.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking, I know Nick Shabazz mentioned it in his video, and then we got a guy, Scott's mentioning it in chat here about replacement spacers.
Yep.
okay, I said it in our video. If you go back and watch our bailout video, and I'm curious about, that's a plug, by the way. I'm curious if you can take that entire back spacer out and request a barrel spacer from Benchmade, because it does look like it would take a standard barrel spacer to go through the one screw that's holding that thing in place.
Is there not? Yeah, there is already a barrel spacer there. So as long as you get the same one or another one of the same size. Unless that barrel spacer, is that inset or is that just flush on the underside of the aluminum?
For what I can see, it seems like it's just flushed, but I haven't disassembled mine, so I don't know if it is.
I believe it's the same as the bug out barrel spacer. So even if you say you have a bug out barrel spacer, I'm not saying that you would lie to Benchmade because I'm not, promoting.
Backpedal.
No, but I'm just saying, if you were to get a barrel spacer, I'm pretty sure that it would work in the hole size that the bailout has, because the original bailout has barrel spacers. And it's got the same hole pattern. So I'm sure it would work if you choose to bring it. Also in that video, I mentioned to Nigel, and I was curious about it digging into the palm, because I know with a lot of Benchmades myself, personally, the opening and closing. So when it's in my palm and I do the close with a lot of nuts, because they're deep enough.
It's on the opposite corner. So for me, at least, it's at enough of an angle that it doesn't hit, but I can see, depending on hand size and the angle you sit at when you're closing it, it might.
Yeah. A bunch of people in chat wishing you a happy birthday there, Nigel.
Yeah. Thank you, Jared, Will to Survive, Zinks, and Scott. Cheers for the wishes.
And to answer your question there, Jared, we appear to not have Robot the Smith with us tonight.
No. Look at the cool new background he's got.
Yep.
Nigel's cool brick background, I think, trumps all of us. I think he wins.
Super Mario in the background, but I mean,
I don't know. I don't have any weaponry in the background.
What's that? Sorry?
I don't have any weaponry in the background.
I started to display some stuff, you see. So my whole house is now a bit of an armory, and I enjoy it that way.
Yeah.
But it goes hand in hand with your Jim Henson comment with the brick, for sure.
Yeah, this is true. I can see that, yeah. So what's the time frame, Joe?
We have approximately 2 minutes and 20-some seconds.
They haven't wished us a happy Mother's Day? Those sons of bitches.
No,
They sure haven't.
How dare they?
I can't believe Jared booed before you even tried.
How dare he?
I know.
Quite easily, I bet.
All right. So do we think we should play it safe and just cut this session off here and then restart one?
Yeah, let's give that a shot. Gonna see
All right.
if I can pause stuff, and then we'll pick it up in a few
All right.
minutes here.
Cool.
Let's let Joe direct that stuff before
Yeah,
all the rest of us fail. So
Everyone who is live here in YouTube land, hang tight with us. We are just going to take a quick little pause and reset the feed because we've got a time limit
it's
on our
not
software.
it's not going to be 7 weeks this time. I guarantee it, guys. It's going to be a matter
Yeah.
of minutes. So
You got an 8 out of an 8 from Jared Cog there, Nigel.
Awesome. Yeah, I do what I can.
Nice.
So yeah, we shall return in a few moments here, everybody.
we'll be right back, guys.